Imagine you're at a bank to deposit $5. Instead of taking your money and handing a receipt, the teller asks you to wait. They take your bill, walk to the back of the building, and slowly turn the massive wheel on a heavy iron vault door, just to put your specific bill in its final resting place. This is exactly what it's like when a database tries to write a new piece of information directly to its main data files on a hard drive. Hard drives are organized in complex physical blocks. To update a specific customer record, the system has to hunt down the exact location of that row on the disk. In computer science, this scattered hunting and pecking is called random I/O. If a busy database with thousands of users tried to do this, for every single purchase, every direct message, or profile update, the entire system would slow to an agonizing crawl while it waited for the disk drives to catch up. We are left with a severe dilemma. A database's entire job is to keep your information permanent, but securing it directly to the drive makes the software too slow to be useful, and the slowness isn't even the biggest problem. What happens if someone trips over the server's power cable right in the middle of one of those slow vault updates? Databases organize data into 8-kilobyte chunks, but writing to disk takes time. If power dies exactly halfway through writing a chunk, the file on disk ends up containing a corrupted mix of half old and half new data. Engineers call this a torn page. The file is scrambled, the database can't read it anymore, and that specific piece of information is lost. To be reliable, a database needs a way to guarantee your data is perfectly safe, without exposing you to the crippling delays and risks of writing directly to the main storage drive. Postgres solves this by separating the act of accepting data from filing it away. Postgres doesn't rewrite the hard drive directly. Instead, it copies a data chunk into its memory, or RAM, and updates it right there. Because the memory holds new information while the disk holds old, this mismatch is known as a dirty page. Working in memory makes the database incredibly fast, but we still have our power cable problem. RAM requires constant electricity to function. If the server shuts down right now, your new update instantly vanishes. Here, Postgres introduces a brilliant middleman, the write-ahead log, or WAL. Think of it as a fast desk journal. Before confirming a transaction, it jots a precise note into this log. It continuously stacks these notes, a straight-line process called sequential I/O, which disks execute instantly. The moment that brief log entry hits the physical disk, the transaction is committed and safe. By writing to this log ahead of updating the actual database files, Postgres finally achieves a perfect balance. You get the blazing speed of working in memory, paired with the ironclad durability of permanent disk storage. This raises a practical question. If your data is only floating in memory and jotted down in a log, how does the main database file ever get updated? Postgres handles this with a background process called a checkpoint. Every so often, the system wakes up and quietly gathers all those modified, dirty data blocks accumulating in the active memory workspace. It organizes and flushes them down into the main data vault in one grouped operation. Once this checkpoint finishes, the main files are fully up to date. The older entries in our bronze journal are no longer needed and are swept away to make room. Checkpoints decouple the heavy, slow work of organizing files on a disk from the immediate, time-sensitive demands of your users. Now let's put this entire system to the ultimate test. Imagine the server suddenly loses power right in the middle of a busy workday, long before the next checkpoint can happen. When the electricity comes back and the server boots up, PostgreSQL knows better than to trust the incomplete main vault. Instead, it looks directly at the write-ahead log, finding the exact marker of the last successful checkpoint and scanning forward. During this recovery phase, known as redo, it reads the sequential log, reconstructing every committed transaction and fixing any torn pages. By leaning on the write-ahead log, PostgreSQL ensures that no matter how abruptly a machine fails, the integrity of your information remains unbroken.